Weakers, tweakers, thrill freaking seekers, welcome back to another freaking hilarious freaking episode of freaking Our Week in Review. My name is freaking Taylor, the freaking Sandman freaking Lofton, and you are listening to freaking WAYO LP freaking Rochester. You also might be listening to freaking SoundCloud, freaking iTunes, freaking Google Play, Jeez Louise Down on My Knees, Apple freaking Podcasts, or freaking YouTube. Weakers, tweakers, thrill seekers, and the freaking panel consisting of freaking, yep, you freaking guessed it, Jeez Louise Down on My Knees, freaking Sandy the Sandman, freaking Farkas, coming all the way from freaking Seattle, freaking Washington, freaking via satellite, freaking New York. Weakers, tweakers, thrill seekers, start your freaking engines. This is freaking Our Week in Review. Weakers, tweakers, thrill freaking fucking seekers. It has been 1 week since we last spoke, and we are so freaking hot and for you. Jeez Louise, down on my knees. I am here with you, as always, Taylor the Sandman Lofton, to talk to you about our news weekend discussion. Jeez Louise, we're also going to have a nice little segment at the end to end this show. It is called freaking Sight Unseen. But before we get to that, Sandy the Sandman freaking Farkas and I need to talk to you, yes, you weakers, tweakers, thrill-seeking freaking seekers, and freaking mayotards about our freaking week, because that's the name of the freaking show, and that's what we're always gonna freaking do.
Right.
Yeah. Sandy the Sandman Farkas, how you doing? How you been? And how freaking are you?
This is freaking Sandy. This is freaking Sandy's. This is freaking Sandy. Freaking Farkas. This is freaking Farkas. And I'm freaking horny as the freaking Dickens.
Yeah. And it's pretty freaking obvious how freaking you are. Also, for weakers and tweakers out there, I want to make a quick mention. Doug Jordan, Taddea Richer are both out. Taddea Richer, unseen, unheard from. He might be freaking dead. He most likely is. But for Mike Doug Jordan, he is ill. He has come down with a pretty bad case of the freaking herpes, though he wouldn't admit so much to me on the freaking phone. We know that's the freaking case here at WAYO LPGTQ freaking Rochester. He will not be in because he has got them, basically, he's completely freaking covered, weakers and tweakers. I think you know what we freaking talking about. He's completely covered, head to freaking toe, with, yep, you freaking guessed it, herpes H freaking 1, HV1, if you want to get freaking technical about it, and Jeez Louise down on my knees. We're all hoping and praying for him here at WAYO LBGTQ Rochester.
Yeah, the problem is he's just freaking riddled with them.
And the thing is, if he were to admit to the fact that he had them, I think the stress would give way and maybe the healing process could freaking begin. And I don't know if we have any doctor listeners. I'm sure we freaking do. As many of our freaking listeners are freaking professionals. If they want to go ahead and call 513-914-6201, go ahead and put their freaking 2 cents in on what maybe Herpy Jordan could do to get himself, yep, you freaking guessed it, back into the good graces of God and back better with health. Go ahead and call that freaking number and tell us what he should do first to get freaking better. Sandy the Sandman freaking Farkas, how was your freaking week? What are you freaking up to?
Basically, the thing about freaking Herpy Jordan is that our freaking outbreaks are freaking synced up. Have been since the very freaking beginning.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So his freaking outbreak. I've got a freaking outbreak as well. Obviously, we all know, all the weakers and tweakers know that his freaking herpes is freaking significantly worse than mine. So I'm obviously able to do the freaking show because I am not freaking I'm freaking drunk. I'm freaking drunk. But what was the question? How's my freaking week?
Yeah, well, for weakers and tweakers, just to take a little jump back into what we talked about freaking last week. Yep, you freaking guessed it. The freaking radio wars here at WAYOLP Rochester have begun, and we here at freaking Our Week in Review have been taking the freaking brunt of it. We are taking the freaking blunt force of it, and yep, you freaking guessed it. It is with Evan Dawson of freaking WXXI freaking Connections, a local Rochester radio station and radio host that has been stealing our freaking act for years now and taking our segments and trying to run with them. He's not freaking hilarious. He's freaking boring as a freaking Dickens, but he is very freaking calculated, weakers and tweakers, and I think that he has his ability to manipulate, to scheme, to do it all under our freaking noses and get away with it is unparalleled to anything we've freaking seen before. And And Sandy the Sandman Farkas, up until just recently, has felt the freaking brunt of that. Yeah. So, Sandy, why don't you give us a little update on how the freaking Great Radio War is going for you over there in freaking Seattle, freaking Washington, via freaking satellite, freaking New York?
Well, yeah, freaking Evan Dawson is freaking dipping his toes in my freaking water yet again. Yep, you guessed it. This time he's attacking me at freaking home. I was told by freaking Dave and my freaking ex freaking girlfriend, or she's not. I'm sorry, she's not a freaking ex. She's my ex freaking girlfriend. She's still freaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, the two of them have been freaking seeing each other, and just recently that I was asked to freaking move out, and I said to him, I said, Dave, this isn't you, this is freaking Dawson speaking. I know they've gotten to you. I know this is from him. I know that they're trying to freaking attack me at freaking home, and I said, I'm not freaking going anywhere. I said, Dave, this is freaking Thursday. That I was told I had to freaking move out by the end of the freaking weekend, and I said, nope, not freaking going anywhere. Guess what? Didn't freaking leave. I also just got back from freaking Dave's funeral.
Wait. So you haven't moved out of your house as Dave asked you to, but you have also just got back from Dave's funeral. Tell Weakers, Tweakers, and actually myself, who I am completely in the freaking dark about what the heck you're freaking talking about.
I guess they're just two separate things. I was asked to move out. I said no. Then a couple of days later, Dave freaking died, and just got back from his freaking funeral.
Okay, so for Weakers and Tweakers out there, how did freaking Dave die? What killed him, and how freaking horny were you?
As I mentioned earlier, freaking horny is the freaking Dickens. I'm not sure how Dave died. Probably freaking drank too much. I don't know. He's freaking dead. So no, the good news is I'm not freaking going anywhere.
And is your how is your ex-lady friend, most recently Dave's freaking lady friend, how is she dealing with it? Was she at the funeral? Is she shedding tiny freaking tears? Or is she moving on and maybe moving on back to the freaking Sandy the Sandman Farkas freaking erection pants? The tent that never stops peaking, freaking Sandy the Sandman Farkas, the giant trousered, the giant freaking snake that sits in your freaking trouser to basically get over her loss of Dave by sitting on top of your freaking trouser, by sitting in your
sitting on top of by freaking scaling the freaking bulge. Yeah, she was freaking blubbering like a freaking baby, and she looks kind of like a freaking baby too. But that's because she's freaking size. She's freaking tiny. So she was blubbering, freaking front row, freaking sobbing. I was freaking in the back, freaking drunk as freaking Dickens. And I went over to her and I said, if you need a freaking shoulder to cry on, I said I can freaking bend, I can get on my freaking knees and do that for you. And I couldn't make a freaking word. I couldn't make a freaking lick of sense of what she was freaking blabbering about.
Yeah.
But I just want to say freaking rest in peace, freaking Dave. You're freaking hilarious, except for when you freaking started having sex with my girlfriend and then freaking punched me in the freaking face and broke my freaking nose.
Yeah. And in a small way, that was actually freaking hilarious too, so.
Yeah. That is it. Honestly, it's freaking hilarious. Regardless, I'm thinking what freaking happened was you got a freaking message from Dawson. He said freaking you got to get him out of there. You get him out of your freaking house. And then when freaking Dave wasn't able to do it, yep, you guessed it. Freaking Dawson pulled the freaking trigger.
Yeah, or freaking Dawson ordered him to freaking masturbate. Masturbate with a freaking rope around his freaking neck, and he's leaning in his freaking closet, and he goes, and then when you feel the freaking darkness coming, just go with it. Because that'll make you freaking orgasm. It'll be at least 2.5 times better than you ever freaking orgasm in your freaking life.
Yeah.
Which is freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
Dave, if you're out there in freaking heaven, but most likely in freaking hell, because masturbation is a freaking sin, especially when you freaking die doing it, may you freaking rest in peace. And geez Louise, down on my knees, we'd love for you to shine your beautiful drunk freaking rays down upon us. And we'll miss you so freaking much. The stories, I've never met you, but the stories alone, you seem like a great freaking guy, except when you freaking punched Sandy the Sandman Farkas in the freaking nose and broke it for maybe the third freaking time, and then also when you freaking had sex with his girlfriend.
Yeah. He was a recovering alcoholic, too, before I freaking showed up.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Freaking Dawson just has.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Dawson just has a way to freaking do that to people.
He's got me by the freaking balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's choking him.
Yeah, and he's trying to freaking masturbate me too.
Yeah, that's what he does. For weakers and tweakers out there, geez Louise, down on my knees, we know that life can be cut short at times, and we've seen it happen. Maybe the most significant in my life was when freaking Robin freaking Williams died. It was a freaking absolute freaking tragedy. And geez Louise, I was really hoping for a freaking Doubtfire too, but that's never going to freaking happen, and it's neither freaking here nor there. Also, none of this is really freaking either here nor there, because geez Louise, down on my knees, all's well that freaking ends well, and freaking Dave knows freaking best. I'm sure in the closet that he was choking himself in, he had a big freaking smile on his face. So that's how I would like to, and that is how I will freaking remember him in freaking death and in freaking life.
Yeah, but I'm going to stop you right there, because I was the one who freaking found him, and yeah, he was not freaking smiling. His freaking mouth was wide open, freaking drool everywhere. It's freaking disgusting. I said, holy shit. And I left the room I said, well, I'll freaking leave you to it. I left, and then somebody else found him a little bit later. One of the other roommates. And they said, I just found Dave dead. And I said, I found him a little while ago too. Can't freaking believe it.
Dave, you will be freaking missed. You were hilarious, and geez Louise, down on my knees. Here at Our Week in Review, we freaking love you.
Yeah, and feel free to freaking call it.
Yeah, leave your obituaries. Go ahead and feel free to leave your obituaries at freaking 513-914-6201. I'm sure we'd all like to freaking hear them. They're going to be freaking hilarious, and they're going to be uplifting, and it's going to get us through these freaking hard times here at WAYO. LBGTQ freaking Rochester. I do want to mention something, because I had planned to have freaking Doug Jordan come in and talk about this, but he's sick as a freaking Dickens. Yeah, the problem with freaking Doug Jordan is not his freaking herpes. It is, for weakers and tweakers, we touched on this last week. I did drop off his freaking dog, Scruffy, freaking Scabby. I dropped freaking Scabby off at his freaking house, and geez Louise, down on my knees. First of all, he was not freaking happy, although Doug Jordan doesn't know what's freaking good for him. And that's freaking obvious. If you listen to the freaking show week in, week out, that's freaking obvious. He doesn't know how to manage his freaking life, how to manage his lover, how to manage his wife, how to freaking raise a freaking child. None of these things he can get a hold of. But geez Louise, down on my knees, I brought this beautiful freaking dog to him, and you got to see this freaking thing. It is so freaking happy when it's not freaking going to the bathroom all over its freaking self, all into its freaking diaper, all over the freaking couch and on the floor. It is just happy as a freaking Dickens when it's just curled up in a freaking little ball and it doesn't make a freaking sound. And you look at this freaking dog, this little freaking tiny little freaking hairy little furry ugly freaking dog. You say, oh my God, that freaking dog is so happy it's freaking dead. That dog looks just like it's freaking dead. And then you go and freaking touch it, and it takes it a minute to wake up. And then, yep, you guessed it. It opens its freaking mouth, and its breath absolutely freaking stinks. And I wanted Doug Jordan to come in here and talk about the love that it has brought his family in these dark times, where he has started up a sexual relationship with a co-host of his freaking show. And when he has ended a freaking very brief sexual relationship with his wife, yep, Mrs. freaking Doug Jordan. But that's something that we can't freaking talk about because he's not here. He's at home tending to his freaking herpes.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah, I wonder if freaking Soonjay's having an outbreak too.
Yeah. From what I've heard around the freaking radio station, and most, as you know, most people here at WAYO freaking Rochester won't freaking talk to me at all. They won't freaking engage with me at all. But here's the freaking thing. Doug freaking the Slug Jordan. I lost my freaking train of thought.
Yeah, doesn't matter. All's well that ends well.
Weakers, tweakers, thrill freaking seekers, geez Louise, down on my knees. I just got a message. just this moment, a freaking email, and that is where my freaking mind went. It wasn't here talking about freaking the slugs freaking herpes or Herp Jordan's freaking new dog. It was with this email that I just got. And I want to go ahead and I want to read a little bit about it. Just give you the freaking idea of what this message that I just got moments ago said on the air, live on the freaking air, as we always freaking do. It said, during the most recent broadcast of our week, there was a freaking uncensored F-bomb. Apparently, as per this freaking email, which I do not believe, it says, Sandy said, "Who the f*** are you?" So we have been freaking kicked off the freaking air for 1 week. Next broadcast will be August 21st. So
I don't even fucking remember doing that. What do you?
This is freaking obvious what's freaking going on, isn't it, Sandy?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It took me. Yeah. This is freaking Dawson. All right, so we're at freaking war.
Yeah. This is the second strike this week. And Weakers and Tweakers, I was going to wait to get into this, but this isn't the first time Dawson's hit me personally. Dawson got me again, and he got me good. He got me earlier this week. As Weakers and Tweakers out there know, the plan henceforth, the defensive attack that we have planned out is for someone that I freaking know who lives with me at a group home that it may or may not be a group home for mental disturbances and issues of those types, psychological freaking issues, criminal psychological freaking issues. His name is a freaking Arnold, and he is a freaking firebug, and he doesn't say anything. This guy, he weighs about 300 freaking and 25 pounds, and he's about 6'4", and he's got the biggest freaking head, the tiniest little mouth, the tiniest little eyes, and the smallest freaking nose. And he just stands there and he doesn't say a freaking lick, but you give this guy a freaking book of matches and a can of gasoline, and this guy will make all your freaking problems freaking disappear. Weakers and Tweakers, I think you know what we're freaking talking about. Yep, you guessed it, it's a freaking firebug. And last week, I talked to him. I got a hold of him, and because Sandy has had a problem communicating with him his ideas.
I'm having my own freaking issues with him. I call him, he answers, and then nothing freaking happens.
Yeah, and I had a very similar freaking talk with him. Except this time I just laid the plans out and I said, look me in the freaking eyes and nod your head and let me know that you understand. And I explained to him that I needed him to break in to WXXI and get rid of those freaking documents the way. And I said, you just need to do it your way. And then I said, you also need to break into WAYO LP Rochester. And yep, you freaking guessed it. You need to freaking get the freaking tapes. And
or better yet, freaking burn the freaking tapes.
Yeah. And I had the book of matches in my hand, and I said, nod to me to let me know that you understand what I'm freaking telling you. And he just looked at the matches, he looked me in the freaking eye, and he freaking nodded his freaking head. And that's the first time I've ever had any sort of freaking response from him. Other those hollow dead eyes, he nodded his head. And so I handed him the book of matches, and I went on my freaking merry way, went and made a freaking sandwich. About 10 minutes freaking later, the smoke alarm's going off inside the freaking group home that I'm living in. Jeez Louise, I run upstairs to see what the freaking heck is going on, and you better believe it, right where I had left freaking Arnold, which was right in front of my freaking bed, my whole freaking bed was engulfed in freaking flames, and it was spreading throughout my entire freaking room. And he set the whole freaking room on fire.
Was he just freaking standing there?
He wasn't anywhere to be freaking found. I found him later in the freaking shower with the freaking water turned on. I think he thought he was freaking safe. And he still had the freaking book of matches all soaking in the freaking shower with all his clothes on. He burnt my freaking... So, I don't know when freaking Dawson got to him and freaking tricked him into burning my freaking bedroom, which I share with another guy I'm not ready to talk about yet. Another guy who torments me in my freaking sleep. It's like, I want to say to Dawson, do I freaking deserve this? Do I freaking deserve this? Is this what you freaking want? An all-out war?
Yeah, when is this going to... Yeah, this is only ever going to freaking end in freaking bloodshed.
Yeah. So, Dawson, you fooled me once. Freaking shame on me. Fool me twice. Can't get freaking fooled again. Except you freaking did, because you got to the freaking to the freaking brass at WAYOLP Rochester, and geez Louise, down on my knees, they've come down hard upon us. And the only way you're going to be able to get this freaking episode is, you freaking guess it, listen to it directly on freaking Apple Podcasts. And now we can tell you to go see things and to go do things, and we can tell you to start a freaking fire in your freaking geez Louise, down on my knees, we better still be freaking careful, because we don't know. Now we don't know who's freaking listening.
Except now I can tell you, freaking go fuck yourself. Put up your dukes. Yeah. This is going to be an uncensored freaking episode, let me tell you. Weakers and tweakers know all freaking about that. No freaking bleeps. Basically, if you got freaking kids in the car, you better turn the freaking dial. Well, you should probably still bleep and freaking.
Yeah, we're going to bleep that freaking word. Because an ugly freaking word for an ugly freaking person with an ugly freaking terrible disease. Weakers, tweakers, thrill seekers. Geez Louise, we got a great freaking episode for you. We got plenty of freaking news and discussants, and we're just going to freaking hammer it on into it. And if you want to call in 513-914-6201 with a comment, concern, maybe add to the discussion, because we do open a community freaking dialogue here. Go ahead and call that freaking number, and maybe tell us what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. Geez Louise, down on my knees, we're always happy to freaking hear from you, although you might get freaking put on freaking blast. Last week, actress Brooke Mueller admitted to attending an Eyes Wide Shut style sex party in the Hamptons on a leaked audio tape acquired by Page Six. Mueller, who is the ex-wife of Charlie Sheen, was heard slurring her words and was reportedly carrying a suitcase filled with drugs while looking to score meth, cocaine, and black tar freaking heroin. According to the publication, the 41-year-old mother of two confessed that she attended the party with a married man, though she said on the tape that the two did not have sex and merely attended the party as spectators. Mueller has reportedly been to rehab 20 freaking times and is currently back in a sober freaking facility. So, you know who this freaking reminds me of?
Yeah.
Freaking Evan freaking Dawson. The last time I saw freaking Evan freaking Dawson in freaking public, I was at a freaking Eyes Wide Shut freaking style sex party. Everybody's got a freaking cloak on except freaking Dawson, who isn't wearing a goddamn thing. Other than he is freaking handcuffed to a freaking suitcase filled with freaking drugs. And weakers, tweakers, thrill seekers, I'm sure you freaking heard the stories many freaking times about freaking hilarious freaking public radio freaking broadcasters who have the crazy freaking sexual hijinks and go out on the freaking town with drugs aplenty, often brandishing freaking guns. Geez Louise, down on my knees. Dawson did it a freaking again to me. And back then I used to think he was a freaking cool guy. Because he was doing all sorts of freaking drugs, shooting freaking heroin right there in front of freaking everybody. Even the freaking people at the freaking sex party were freaking worried about it. And I said, bring it on. This is freaking hilarious. This is great freaking radio.
Yeah, and you were there merely as a freaking spectator.
Unfortunately, I was there as a spectator. I thought I would be able to get into the freaking action, but weakers and tweakers, it was a pretty exclusive party, and they said when they let me into the freaking party, they said absolutely under no circumstances will you be allowed to take that mask off or that freaking robe. And I said, well, then how am I going to freaking have sex at the freaking sex party? And they said, oh, you won't be having sex. You're merely a freaking spectator. When was the last time we heard from freaking Charlie Sheen? Geez Louise, down on my knees. Last I heard, he came clean with his freaking HIV diagnoses. Why isn't he up to his freaking hilarious tiger blood freaking shtick, where he just does a ton of freaking drugs and talks about how his veins are filled with the blood of, you freaking guessed it, a freaking tiger.
As you can probably freaking guess, I am just the biggest freaking Charlie Sheen fan. And when he was doing that, when he was having that freaking mental episode, I said, this is freaking great radio. And I freaking miss the guy, and I can't wait for another freaking meltdown.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to mention about freaking Dawson was that when I ran into him that night, he was surrounded by basically a freaking gaggle of different types of prostitutes, men, women, the third thing that can't be freaking identified, that we totally and completely freaking support here at WAYO LGBTQ freaking Rochester. He had fingers in all sorts of freaking rear ends when they weren't freaking covered in freaking different colored powders, mostly white. He was snorting, sniffing, anything he could get his freaking hands on. And this guy is not something to be. At one point, he freaking brandished a freaking revolver. And then he put it to his own freaking temple and said, "You won't freaking dare me to do this, will you?" Look me right in the eyes. I'm wearing a big, giant, freaking beaked, bubonic plague mask, and geez Louise, down on my knees. He's looking me straight through the freaking mask into my freaking eyes, saying, "You won't freaking dare me to do it, will you?" And then he took the freaking barrel away from his freaking temple, put it in his freaking mouth, and then he simulated something that I can't even freaking say, even though this isn't going to ever air on the freaking radio. Only on freaking podcast form. It was
he freaking sucked the gun, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
It's freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
Either way, all's well that ends well. Last week it was reported that there may be virtually indestructible micro-animals living on the moon, according to Agence France Presse. Tardigrades, also known as water bears or moss piglets, can survive in the coldest conditions, extreme heat and radiation, and can go without food for decades. The multicellular organisms are thought to have survived a lunar crash landing during Israel's Beresheet probe in April. According to Arch Mission Foundation's founder, Nova Spivak, the chances of survival for the moss piglets, which are under 1 millimeter in diameter, are extremely high. The tardigrades had been dehydrated and stored inside a lunar library no bigger than a DVD that contained 30 million page archive of Earth's history and human DNA. This is not the first time that genetic code has been left behind on the lunar landscape. Over 100 bags of feces and urine sit on the moon's surface, left behind during the Apollo missions. So, for weakers and tweakers who haven't seen these freaking ugly little freaking water freaking bears, geez Louise, it basically looks like a 6-legged freaking tiny little freaking pig with a freaking asshole for a freaking mouth and no freaking eyes. And geez Louise, down on my knees, are absolutely freaking hilarious. And you know what? I say good for freaking them that they're going to be a whole population of these freaking things up on the freaking moon. But also, geez Louise, maybe don't choose freaking Doug Jordan to be the next person up in space because, yep, you freaking guessed it. If he gets anywhere near him, he won't know which end to freaking put it in, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. This was the freaking craziest story I've ever heard on this freaking show. Freaking water bears and freaking moss piglets. There's a freaking lunar library and freaking bags of freaking feces on the freaking moon. This is freaking hilarious. This is freaking our week in review.
Yeah. It's absolutely freaking hilarious. And I got to tell you, if I was one of those freaking astronauts, there'd be twice as many freaking bags of feces and urine up there.
Yeah, what do we got to do to get our hands on that freaking feces and urine? Why wouldn't they freaking bring it back with them?
Yeah, bring it back. That could be sitting in that should be in a freaking museum.
There are bags of freaking shit in space, and I'm never going to freaking go there.
Yeah. And geez Louise, down on my knees, I could possibly get my hands on freaking Buzz Aldrin shit now, but someone like freaking Neil Armstrong, who's been dead for freaking years, I'll never get his freaking shit in my hands. I'll never be able to hold a piece of his shit and freaking mush it and squeeze it until it comes out between my freaking knuckles and all down my freaking arm, and then falls on the freaking floor, and then I freaking pick it up again and freaking rub it all over myself. That's never going to freaking happen. He's freaking gone.
We're talking about over 100 bags.
Yeah. The best case scenario that I freaking have for getting my hands on freaking Neil Armstrong's freaking feces is if he was buried in the freaking ground, which I'm not sure he freaking was, and he wasn't freaking embalmed, and he had freaking impacted fecal matter in his freaking colon, that I could then dig him up, cut that part of him open, and freaking take the freaking feces out and freaking play with it for a little while.
Right. Yeah.
So, geez Louise, down my knees. No trace freaking left behind. Bring in what you bring out, or bring out what you bring in. You know, it's simple as that.
Put up your freaking dukes.
Yeah,
we're coming for you, freaking Dawson.
Yep. Last week, the world's largest gathering of twins took place in Twinsburg, Ohio, according to the Beacon Journal and Ohio.com. The gathering was billed as the largest annual gatherings of twins in the world by Guinness Book World Records and features competitions for best sets of twins in several categories. Other festivities included a twin parade, performances by DJ Jungle Terry, and hot dog dinner. The gathering first took place in 1976 as a way to celebrate the country's bicentennial. So, geez Louise, down on my freaking knees. How lucky were they to have freaking Jungle Terry at this freaking event? And how did they freaking bill him for a seemingly small event like freaking Guinness Book of World fucking twins?
Yeah. I gotta tell you, I'm thinking about having a freaking hot dog dinner myself.
Well,
I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, it could be sitting in a freaking that should be in a freaking museum. maybe take.
And I will be. Excuse me. Don't. I will be inviting freaking Jungle, freaking Terry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Terry, if you're freaking listening to this on freaking Apple freaking podcast, go ahead and freaking call 510. Call freaking Wayo, and we'll get you a free prize. And you guessed it, it's gonna be a freaking hot dog.
Yeah, and maybe if you're lucky, we'll make it a freaking 3-dog night.
I am so freaking drunk right now.
It's freaking hilarious. So absolutely freaking hilarious how freaking drunk you are. Last week, a tweet that reported to out restaurant chains for financial support of Donald Trump's 2020 re-election went viral, according to Newsweek. The post meant to garner support for a mass boycott, including a dozen of America's top fast food brands. Bang, In-N-Out, Chick-fil-A, Taco Bell, Carl's Jr., IHOP, McDonald's, Wendy's, KFC, Pizza Hut, Olive Garden, and freaking Waffle House again, all made the list, originally posted by Zuriel Sanders, a.k.a. at Billy Bob Sanders. Though Sanders posted the link to support his claims, several companies, including Taco Bell, IHOP, and Chick-fil-A, told the publication that they do not make political donation. The posting had been retweeted over 400,000 times as of Friday. So, geez Louise, I had this whole freaking hilarious freaking segment planned for freaking Doug Jordan where we were going to match chain freaking restaurants to the 2020 presidential freaking hopefuls. And I guess we can freaking try and do it, although he is a freaking sports desk expert. I was thinking freaking Joe Biden. He seems like a freaking... maybe a Waffle House guy. I'm not really sure.
I was gonna say freaking Panera Bread.
Yeah, he does seem like a freaking Panera Bread.
Yeah.
Bill de Blasio, I think he used to be a freaking mayor, and now he seems like he would be eating at freaking Pizza Hut. And Cory Booker, where's he gonna go?
Cory Booker, he's probably gonna do a little bit of maybe what was the place called? Maybe like a freaking TGI freaking Fridays.
Yeah.
Ruby or freaking Ruby freaking Tuesdays, freaking he's one of those. What is that guy's freaking name? Buttigieg? What is that? Pete Buttigieg? Jeez Louise. And freaking Tulsi Gabbard. These are gotta be freaking fake names.
Yeah, let's move on to freaking Beto O'Rourke. I could see him.
Starbucks.
Yeah, he does go to freaking Starbucks. Although recent news found out that actually he comes from freaking a slave-holding freaking background. So I would think that maybe he would end up eating at some sort of southern freaking chain. Paula freaking Dean. That's what I'm freaking. Remember freaking Paula Dean?
Yeah.
She's freaking racist.
Yeah.
She is freaking hilarious.
You should not freaking say that stuff on the freaking TV. I go, what is she freaking doing?
Yeah. Yeah, she admitted far too freaking much.
Yeah.
And for someone who likes to freaking talk and says more than he freaking should, Paula Dean, you are fat, freaking ugly, and absolutely freaking hilarious. And maybe just think before you freaking speak.
Yeah. Bernie Sanders would go to a freaking weed dispensary, freaking getting freaking.
I was thinking he'd go to freaking a bagel place, but that's just me. I don't know.
Elizabeth Warren, freaking Indian food.
And freaking Andrew Yang obviously would get, he would go to freaking PF freaking Chang because it sounds like
Panda
Yang.
Express, yeah.
Yeah, it's a Chang, and it sounds like freaking Yang, and the guy freaking is absolutely freaking hilarious. Last week, a woman in Louisiana told police that drugs hidden inside her vagina were not hers when discovered during a body cavity search, according to Fox News. Ashley Beth Rowland was arrested for an unrelated theft of $5,000. After she was apprehended by the Western Monroe police, a female corrections officer discovered $6,233 in a clear plastic bag containing roughly 1 gram of methamphetamine hidden in her vagina. Upon discovery, the 23-year-old denied ownership of the illegal substance. Rowland was arrested and is being held in lieu of $8,000 bond. So, this woman put freaking drugs in her vagina, and geez Louise, down on my knees, where did she get the other freaking $1,233 freaking dollars? Because it said she stole $5,000, and then she's just been freaking hiding money up her freaking vagina for a freaking long time.
Maybe she freaking forgot it was up there.
Yeah. What do you get when you freaking forget that you got a lot of freaking money and methamphetamine in your freaking vagina?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you get freaking sick.
Yeah, it's called freaking toxoplasmosis. It's called toxic freaking shock. Toxic It's called something like that. Toxic freaking shock.
Yeah, freaking toxic shock. I thought I got it one time from.
I did get it.
Yeah, of course, I freaking believe you.
I actually got it for a very freaking simple reason. Because doctor said I was freaking wiping too freaking hard. And geez Louise, down on my knees, I was getting lots of toilet paper freaking particles up my freaking rear end that were staying up there that I was just leaving inside of there. And then I'd wipe too freaking hard. And I for a long freaking time, I thought you needed to clean out the inside of your freaking rear end, not just between the freaking butt cheeks. So I would put my freaking middle finger surrounded by freaking toilet paper up into the hole and then sort of twist it around to get to get whatever's in there freaking out. And sometimes the freaking toilet paper would just stay up. And I got freaking toxic freaking shock. I almost freaking died. It's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, so it turned out my freaking toxic shock was just freaking herpes. It was just a freaking outbreak.
Yeah.
It was a bad freaking outbreak.
Yeah. Well, either way, all's well that ends well. Freaking, you always freaking bounce back from a freaking outbreak.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure about the time that I got freaking toxic shock, but I think freaking Dawson has something to freaking do with it.
Probably.
Last week, former Ohio University basketball player Donnell DJ Cooper was given some surprising news after the results from his drug screen urinalysis showed up that he was pregnant, according to The Root. The 28-year-old guard was given a 2-year suspension after it was discovered that he used his girlfriend's urine in an effort to pass an overseas league drug test. Cooper will not be eligible to play for the International Basketball Federation until June 2020. So this guy's freaking pregnant, and that's actually quite freaking common these days for a freaking men to get freaking pregnant. I saw a pregnant man sitting on the freaking bus the other day.
Yeah, I saw that freaking movie, freaking Arnold Schwarzenegger. Basically, we're freaking Danny DeVito pretty much. I'm pretty sure Danny DeVito fucks Arnold Schwarzenegger and gets him freaking pregnant.
Yeah. It's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, it is freaking hilarious. You get to see freaking Arnold Schwarzenegger. You get to see freaking Arnold, and he gets freaking fat, and there's freaking baby in him, and at the end he freaking poops it right out.
And and for Weakers and Tweakers who don't know this, it's actually a freaking sequel to the freaking movie Twins.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, that's a movie where freaking Arnold Schwarzenegger and freaking Danny DeVito are freaking twins. And then Danny DeVito, who's a freaking ugly freaking little piece of shit, he ends up freaking becoming a freaking doctor in the second one, and then. Yep, you freaking guessed it. Implanting his seed inside of freaking Arnold Schwarzenegger's rear end, and it grows into a freaking giant freaking poop monster baby. And then at the end of the freaking movie, Schwarzenegger has to freaking kill him. And that movie's called The Freaking Predator. And you can go, and I can tell you right now, go see that if you can find it in theaters or rent it at freaking Blockbuster.
Go see the whole freaking trilogy.
Yeah.
If you got the freaking time, if you got 6 hours to kill, watch the whole freaking trilogy.
Yeah.
Freaking hilarious. I just wish freaking Danny DeVito's character at the end of freaking Junior didn't freaking die, so he would still be in freaking Predator.
Yeah, did he die?
Yeah, he freaking died. Yeah, he gets freaking. I'm pretty sure he gets his freaking head freaking blown up.
And then the only way to kill freaking Danny DeVito for Weakers and Tweakers who's seen the fourth one is to freaking, yep, you freaking guessed it, plop him down in a freaking big freaking vat of hot freaking lava.
Yeah. And then in the fifth one, when they're out in freaking Mars, freaking Danny DeVito gets thrown out of the freaking building, his freaking eyes bulge out of his freaking head. Freaking dies. Yeah,
that's freaking hilarious. And in that movie, he plays a guy named Tim freaking Robbins. So if you haven't freaking seen that movie, I highly freaking recommend it. Jeez Louise, down on my knees. It's a freaking laugh. It's a freaking gas. And in that movie, freaking Danny DeVito actually has quite a bit of gas when he's inside of his freaking spacesuit, and he lets one loose, and it travels all the way up to like a big freaking air bubble into his freaking partner's spacesuit, and he breathes in the freaking gas. Is absolutely freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
And then his partner is played by freaking Steve Coogan.
And then he keeps freaking farting, and he farts so much that his freaking spacesuit freaking expands. He looks like a freaking balloon freaking person.
Yeah. And then he pops, and that's when his eyeballs freaking bulge out of his freaking head. And the real freaking Danny DeVito, for Weakers and Tweakers out there, is still freaking alive.
Yeah.
And I keep wondering, when is the guy going to start freaking growing? Last week, Daredevil and flat earther Mad Mike Hughes announced his plans to launch himself 5,000 feet into the air to prove that the Earth is flat, according to Space.com. The rocket, a homemade steam-powered projectile made by Hughes, is set to send the 62-year-old over 3,000 feet higher than his previous attempt last year. Hughes' mission is set to be filmed by the science fiction channel for the upcoming series Homemade Astronauts. The stunt is to be funded by casual sex app HUD and is said to have cost $2.8 million. So this guy's going to freaking have sex in space, casual freaking sex in space with, well, it seems like he's going to be out there all by himself from looking at the freaking article. So it's for weakers and tweakers out there, if you know what that means, I know what that freaking means, and I'm sure you do too. Guy's going up into a freaking rocket to masturbate in the stars. To leave his seat in the freaking, he's going to shoot for the freaking stars, if you know what I freaking mean, as they freaking say. We're talking. That's where he's gonna aim for with his when he masturbates.
Yeah. He's gonna shoot for the freaking moon, and his freaking seed will fall among the freaking stars.
Absolutely freaking ridiculous. It's gonna be freaking hilarious too.
Mad Mike Hughes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Feel free to freaking call in. We'll freaking give you a freaking prize.
Yeah. We'll send you a freaking jar of freaking oxygen is what we freaking do. You can use it in freaking space. Open it up when your tank runs dry. Oh, jeez Louise.
Yeah, I am freaking, this is a freaking, I think this might be the freaking drunkest I've ever been on this freaking show. I got freaking drunk at that freaking funeral, man. I got so freaking drunk.
What was it?
I am so fucking drunk. I'm gonna get freaking sick.
Did any of his friends from freaking recovery show up to the freaking funeral? By the way.
Yeah. There's a couple of freaking AA guys there. It looked like a freaking sponsor was taking it pretty hard. And I was way in the back, freaking drunk, wearing a freaking suit that's about freaking 3 times my freaking size. I had a freaking flask. I actually brought three freaking different flasks. It was a freaking long funeral.
Yeah.
Yeah, people kept getting up, saying things about him, freaking crying, man. I just got so freaking so fucking drunk.
Yeah, it's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, I almost got freaking sick all over myself right there, and I'm getting freaking sick right now just freaking talking about it. This whole room is freaking spinning, freaking fast too.
That's absolutely freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
Last week, a woman from Washington State was hospitalized after posing for a picture with a venomous octopus, according to New York Post. Jamie Biscaglia is said to have been trying to win a photo competition at a fishing derby in Tacoma Narrows. According to an interview with news station KIRO, Biscaglia put the octopus on her face while posing for the picture. The venomous sea urchin then bit her twice on the chin. After 2 days of incessant pain and swelling, she decided to go to the emergency room. "I'm still in pain," Biscaglia said. "I'm on 3 different antibiotics. This can come and go, the swelling, for months," they say. So, the freaking woman got bit by a freaking octopus, and her freaking...
I couldn't understand a freaking word you said.
Well, this... Okay,
what is his name? Freaking Biscaglia. What is it? Jeez Louise. Freaking Biscaglia. Wow. Biscaglia, freaking her venomous sea urchin. Freaking fish sitting there. What the heck? What is this?
Well, she got bit by... The thing is, the long and the short of it is she got bit by a freaking octopus.
She got bit by a freaking octopus. What the heck is a freaking octopus? Oh. All right. All's well that ends well.
All I can imagine is that her freaking lips got all freaking swollen and blubbery, and she could barely freaking speak, and she looked like she had freaking plastic surgery, which is absolutely freaking hilarious. Biscaglia, if you're listening, go ahead and call 513-914-6201 if you can freaking speak through your freaking big, freaking ugly, swollen face, and if you want, we can hook you up.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We'll get freaking Biscaglia. What? How do you? We'll get freaking Biscaglia And the freaking guy whose freaking face freaking blew the hell up. Look at them. Well, maybe they can even freaking fall in love. Maybe they can have sex.
Yeah, but his name's Pimply or something like that, and he's got a freaking face problem. Guys looks like freaking Lando Calrissian's freaking best friend.
And we're not talking about freaking Han Solo either. We're talking about freaking
the fish monster, or who's a pilot.
Yeah.
Last week, superstar Miley Cyrus and actor Liam Hemsworth called it quits after 7 months of marriage, according to People. The couple, who had been in an on and off again relationship for 10 years, officially ended their marriage after a week of speculation that started when Cyrus posted a photo to Instagram without her fucking wedding ring. According to Page 6, Liam Hemsworth, jeez Louise. Freaking Liam Hemsworth had been spending time at his brother Chris's Australian freaking home, while Cyrus is touting a new romance with Brody Jenner's ex, Caitlyn Carter. The two were seen locking lips on a boat in freaking Italy. So I think that the obvious freaking move by freaking Liam Hemsworth.
You got it.
Yeah, he should have. Liam should be freaking having sex with freaking Brody Jenner, because Cyrus is having sex with Caitlyn Carter, Brody Jenner's ex. I can't tell the gender of any of these freaking names.
Yeah.
And maybe that's not important in this day and age. I know freaking Liam is a big freaking stud, and I know freaking Cyrus is his boyfriend, and I know that Caitlyn freaking Jenner it used to be freaking Bruce, but now, geez Louise, down on my knees, they freaking cut his freaking penis off and turned it into a freaking vagina, and then he had freaking boobs, and then they used the skin from the freaking penis and balls to make two boobs out of. And then I also heard they cleaned up his freaking asshole a little freaking bit, so that it would look less like a freaking man. And geez Louise, down on my knees. Now freaking Brody Jenner is having sex with him, which is his freaking stepmom or his real mom. And that's and there's no reason to freaking have a problem with that. That's this is freaking this is almost freaking 2020.
It's freaking hey, and you know. Who am I to get in the way of freaking love? You know, I freaking love, and I freaking hate, and and I hope that they can find a way to all do it, just freaking do it together.
Yeah,
and freaking get into a freaking pile, and just do the thing that the freaking Lord, do the one thing that the freaking Lord expects us to freaking do, and that's freaking suck and.
Yeah.
Play with each other.
Yeah, I do. I'm reminded of a freaking Bible verse, and it's freaking Jenner 3:37:56, and it says, "Thou should spread thy buttocks onto thy neighbor, and accept it." And accept gift thou witheth graceful and beautiful freaking arms, and love thy freaking brother. That was my first takeaway. My first takeaway was actually spreading the butt cheeks, but my second takeaway was love thy freaking brother as a freaking sexual partner. And geez Louise, down on my knees. If you go by that, you can't really go freaking wrong. And in this day and age, with all the freaking violence, is our two family members having sex with each other that big of a freaking deal? At least they're not freaking hurting somebody.
Yeah.
Other than maybe their grandmother's freaking feelings.
Yeah.
But it sounds like, I'm pretty sure freaking Caitlyn Jenner is freaking Brody Jenner's freaking grandmother. And so all's well that freaking ends well in that freaking situation.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, this is a freaking non-story when you really think about it.
Yeah.
Because everything's freaking fine.
Yeah, it's all freaking tied up at the end.
Yeah. Put a freaking little bow on that freaking treasure trove.
Yeah. Last week, news reports of the development of a wearable robotic tail that promises to stop people from falling over made the rounds, according to the Mirror. The strap-on tail, called the Arc, is being developed by researchers at Keio University in Japan. According to reports, the Arc will help elderly people balance and prevent falling without the use of a cane. The device, which is modeled after a seahorse's tail, acts as a counterbalance and allows users to carry heavy loads quickly and efficiently without freaking falling over.
Doug, what do you think about this?
Doug Jordan is freaking not here. He's at home sick. He's at home nursing his herpes. He's got a washcloth. Yeah. He's got a freaking iced washcloth over his face.
Well, I didn't know. I freaking didn't know he wasn't freaking here.
Yeah.
What is this story? This is about a freaking cane.
It's basically a story about a freaking dragon's tail that people can put on their freaking back. It's robotic, and it's basically so old people can't freaking fall over. But here's the thing. When these people were freaking thinking about this, they weren't thinking about how freaking hilarious it is when freaking old people freaking fall over, which is absolutely freaking hilarious.
Absolutely freaking hilarious.
So.
An old woman with a freaking falling, and she can't freaking get up.
Yeah.
I'm falling. I think she says, I'm falling. I can't freaking get up.
Yeah. And then she freaking dies because she's laying on her back, stuck like a freaking turtle, and she doesn't even. And now all she's got is a tail, which can't help her get up, but the cane would. And at least, even if the cane didn't help her get up, she could use it to end her freaking life quickly. But now all she's got is a freaking seahorse freaking tail on her freaking back, and she can't freaking commit freaking suicide with that. Yeah. And will this freaking seahorse tail have some sort of sexual significance in the freaking bedroom?
I was about to say, this sounds like this is a freaking strap-on tail.
Yeah.
This is got freaking sexuality. This has got freaking sex written all over it.
Yeah, it's absolutely freaking hilarious.
Yeah. And also the thought of freaking old people freaking having sex freaking grosses me out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's freaking hilarious, but it's freaking disgusting.
The thing about old people's bodies is that they're basically freaking melting. Yeah. They look like the sun has beaten down upon them and caused their freaking bodies to melt in a way almost like a freaking ice cream cone if you decide not to lick it and just let it freaking drip down your freaking arm.
Yeah.
Freaking hilarious.
Yeah, freaking hilarious.
Yeah. Weakers, tweakers, thrill seekers, we have reached the end of our week's news and discussants, but we do have one more freaking hilarious freaking segment left for you. It is called Our Week's Sight Unseen. Now, the way this freaking works is we review 2 freaking movies that we have not freaking seen and tell you which one to go freaking see. Synopsises are provided by Fandango.com. You can find both the movies in the theaters near you coming soon. And geez Louise, down on my knees, we're just going to go right freaking into it. I will read the first one. Sandy the Sandman Farkas will read the second one. And geez Louise, down on my knees, you're going to freaking love the freaking outcome. One of these movies is going to win. The other one, it's going to get a freaking dump all over it. We're going to put it on freaking blast, hard and freaking horny. The first movie is called The Art of Racing in the Rain, 2019. Based on the best-selling novel by Garth Steen, The Art of Racing in the Rain is a heartfelt tale narrated by a witty and philosophical dog named Enzo, voiced by Kevin Costner. Through his bond with his owner, Denny Swift, Milo Ventimiglia, an aspiring Formula One race car driver, Enzo has gained tremendous insight into the human condition and understands that the techniques needed on the racetrack can also be used to successfully navigate the journey of life. The film follows Denny and the loves of his life, his wife, Eve, by Amanda freaking Seyfried, and their young daughter, Zoe, Ryan Kira Armstrong. And ultimately, his true best freaking friend, Enzo, the freaking dog, played by freaking Kevin freaking Costner. This movie is freaking directed by Simon Curtis, and it is out in the theaters near you freaking right now. So, this movie is absolutely freaking hilarious. And, geez Louise, down on my knees. My favorite freaking scene is when he's going to a freaking important freaking race, and geez Louise, down on my knees, he left the freaking dog at home, and the dog's the only thing that can freaking... The dog's the one actually freaking driving the car. That's the thing. This is the sequel to the much-loved freaking Air Bud series, and it's an Air Bud. Now he drives a freaking Formula One car.
And freaking Enzo is freaking back, reprising his role from freaking Air Buds 1 through, I'm pretty sure it's freaking 8. And freaking and Enzo is freaking back, and he's freaking better than ever. And this is just about the craziest fucking movie that I ever freaking made, because it just doesn't make a freaking lick of sense, and they just freaking dive into it.
Yeah, they
You got freaking Milo freaking you got freaking Milo Ventimiglia, and he drives a freaking Formula One race car, and his freaking dog can freaking talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the freaking most hilarious freaking scenes is when freaking Enzo, the freaking dog, voiced by Kevin Costner, and he talks us through this scene. Kevin Costner talks us through what it's like for a dog's mind when he gets a freaking red rocket freaking erection. And geez Louise, down on my knees, it's so freaking hilarious to look at freaking Milo Ventimiglia freaking have to grab that freaking little thing and freaking take care of it so that he can freaking get his mind right in order to drive the freaking Formula One freaking car.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and the movie's freaking set up for a freaking perfect sequel at the end after they've won the freaking big race and freaking Enzo's driving and freaking Ventimiglia is freaking in the passenger seat and they go, well, I guess we freaking won, and then guess who freaking pulls up in a freaking fastest car you've ever seen? Yep, you freaking guessed it, freaking Dunkirk.
Yeah, Dunkirk is back.
Yeah, Dunkirk is freaking back, and he looks freaking Enzo right in the freaking eyes, and he says, and then the freaking credits roll, freaking sequel. Spoiler alert, freaking sequel.
Yeah. Yeah, if you wanted to see this movie without knowing the freaking ending, well, we just fucking told you what was going to freaking happen. So, Sandy the Sandman freaking Farkas, why don't you go ahead and read the next movie, and then we'll decide which one we go see and which one gets the freaking axe.
Yeah. All right.
And by the way, I'm going to give The Art of Racing in the Rain, I'm going to give it 5 stars. It's freaking perfect, freaking hilarious movie. And see freaking Kevin Costner the way you've never seen him before.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give that one. I mean, it was just the craziest freaking movie, and I keep freaking wondering, well, why did they even freaking make this? Because it freaking doesn't make a lick of sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it freaking 2 thumbs up, freaking hilarious. And I'm gonna tell you to go see it because we can freaking do that because we're not on the radio. The next movie is freaking Prairie Hut Love. It sounds freaking hilarious already. Freaking 2019. Prairie Hut Love is a contemporary romantic comedy set in the various parts of Pakistan and Europe. Story of an unlikely romance between a young, free-willed, commitment-phobic, aspiring actor. Holy jeez Louise. All right. Commitment-phobic, aspiring actor, freaking Shahryar. Jeez Louise. We're going to freaking skip it. Shahryar. And a beautiful, strong-willed expat, Sania, who meet and fall in love over a series of unplanned encounters at freaking destination weddings. The story plays on an underlying fear of today's generation, the idea of committing to anything in life, especially freaking marriage. Written by the seasonal writer Imran Aslam. Prairie Hut Love promises to be a 2-hour journey of pure freaking family entertainment filled with wit, hilarious one-liners, and moments that'll make you freaking fall in love. And that is freaking directed by Asim Raza. And I gotta tell you, I freaking didn't like this freaking movie. I couldn't freaking figure out freaking hide nor freaking hair, whatever the hell was going on. I didn't freaking like Shahryar, and I didn't freaking like this movie one freaking bit.
Yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and completely freaking agree with you on this one. And I'll tell freaking Weakers, Tweakers, Thrill Seekers, and the freaking panel why. If you like seeing a freaking movie about freaking dogs racing freaking cars and speaking English that you freaking understand, yeah, then the first movie is a freaking one for you. But if you like watching movies where you can't understand a freaking lick of what they're freaking saying because it's all in a freaking another language that you don't understand or speak, and you got to freaking, on top of that, they're trying to make you freaking read, and you went to a movie just so you didn't have to freaking read a book or look at a freaking magazine.
Right.
And if you want to watch a movie that doesn't make you freaking hard or horny at all, then maybe this freaking movie's for you. But for me, this is the most boring freaking piece of shit movie I've ever seen in my freaking life. First of all, I don't even freaking love Pizza Hut. I'm a freaking Domino's man. So if I'm going to go watch a movie called Pizza Hut freaking Love, no, I'm going to go see a movie called freaking either DiGiorno or freaking Domino's or freaking Papa freaking Jan's or freaking, I might even go see a freaking movie called a freaking Little freaking Caesars. I would actually definitely see a freaking movie about those two little freaking Caesar guys doing hijinks, kind of like freaking Minions. And if that was this movie, it would get both of my thumbs up and freaking 4 stars. But it's not that freaking movie. This movie is about Imran Aslam, who's basically a freaking sexual miscreant, and he's trying to go to a freaking family reunion at freaking Pizza Hut, but it's a Pizza Hut basically in freaking Pakistan and in freaking Europe. And so it's completely freaking different. They don't have any freaking pizza. They don't have any freaking servers. Right. It's mostly freaking Indian food, to be perfectly freaking honest with you.
Yeah. The thing about the fact that I didn't like this movie is because it was just a big freaking piece of shit, and I freaking hated it so much. And I'm gonna piggyback on what you said. Not in a freaking Pizza Hut. And maybe my least favorite freaking part was was the fact that I couldn't figure out. I said, what the heck even is this freaking movie?
Yeah, it doesn't make a lick of sense. And
I can't freaking understand. Excuse me, I can't freaking understand it. I don't know. Even the freaking pictures that are happening on the freaking screen, I don't even know what I'm freaking looking at. And then they go to freaking destination weddings, and the only freaking part that I freaking liked was when they said, oh, the freaking officiant for the freaking movie, the freaking officiant for the freaking wedding is gone freaking missing. They said, well, we can't have the freaking wedding without an officiant. They said, is anybody at this freaking wedding and a freaking minister? And guess who freaking steps up? Yep, freaking guessed it again, freaking Dunkirk. And he freaking steps up to the freaking plate, and he freaking marries freaking Enzo and freaking Imran Ramslam, and he looks at the freaking camera and he says, he goes, I told you this is going to be a freaking crazy day.
Yep. And then he goes, oh, and by the way, did anybody say freaking Pizza Hut? And that's how the freaking movie ends.
Yeah, did somebody, and he says, oh, and did anybody order a freaking pizza? And then it sets up for a sequel too, because then he says, we're going to have to eat all this freaking pizza. Freaking Pizza Hut Loves, starring in 2019, directed by Aslam Maizi. Yeah,
and starring freaking Her, and freaking and Sania, and also even starring Imran Aslam.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
And freaking spoiler alert, freaking Dunkirk came out. So if you didn't want to freaking find out how this one freaking ends, well, shouldn't have freaking listened, because we went ahead and we freaking told you.
If you do end up sitting through this piece of garbage freaking movie, wait till the end, because there is an after the credits scene where it turns out Dunkirk freaking poisoned the pizza and everybody freaking dies. And the sequel, if there is one, is going to be just a regular old Dunkirk movie, which we all know and freaking love, and I can't wait to see another one of those freaking movies. So,
yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say this is a 2-star rating because there's always room for growth, and it could be worse.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give it 1 freaking thumb up and 1 thumb down, and I think that this one is a freaking clear winner of the freaking contest.
Yeah, because Dunkirk scene's way better if you like a last credit scene, this is the movie for you. Mm-hmm. Pizza Hut Love, starring 2019. Weakers, tweakers, thrill seekers. This has been a hilarious freaking show. It's been a long freaking show, and geez Louise, down on my knees, we are going to keep freaking broadcasting no matter what they freaking do. They can take us away. They can say 1 week suspension. They can say 20-week suspension. They can go ahead and fire us. They can cut off our freaking Dankley Johnsons and put freaking probes in our freaking rear ends and then light them on fire because they're actually freaking fireworks, and we'll still do the freaking show. We'll do it, and you'll hear the freaking pain in our voice from the firework that went off in our rears. But we'll freaking do it.
Yeah.
So, geez Louise, down on my freaking knees. Thank you so much for freaking listening. This has been a hilarious freaking episode. Doug Jordan, we will check back in with. Taddea Richards is dead. And geez Louise, down on my knees. Weakers, tweakers, thrill seekers. I think you all freaking know what this means. It's the end of the freaking show, but that doesn't mean it's the end of our freaking lives, and it doesn't mean we won't be here, right back here at the same time, very next freaking week. Yep, you freaking guessed it. We are Our Week in Review, and we'll see you freaking next week.
I freaking pissed myself at the very beginning of the freaking show, and I freaking sat. I'm still sitting in it.
Well, see, the thing is,
I actually pissed my freaking pants twice.
Yeah. That's why I wear freaking diapers. If you wear a diaper, you don't have to wipe, is what I always say. It's just that easy.
Wait a minute. So if you poop in your diaper and you just take it off and throw it away and you don't freaking, wipe?
I'm just gonna put another freaking diaper on. So it's not like I'm gonna get poop from my rear end on anything other than a diaper, which it's made for.
Huh. Yeah.
And then part of what they're doing at the group home is trying to get me off freaking diapers. They say we were going to give you a month, and we're going to slowly wean you off freaking diapers. And I said, what are you freaking talking about? Half the freaking people in here are wearing freaking.
Yeah, you got to tell them that's not a freaking good idea for you.
Yeah.
You say to them, yeah, all right, I'll stop wearing diapers if you want me to freaking shit my pants.
Yeah.
You can tell them I freaking said that.
Yeah. Well, right now I don't even have a freaking bed to sleep in.
Yeah.
I'm bunking up with Arnold.
Oh, that's another very freaking bad idea.
And he already set my bed on fire one time. We're both under freaking, we're very close to being freaking completely kicked out. And Arnold and I are under freaking a complete 24-hour freaking surveillance right now, so.
Oh. Yeah, is that who the guy in the room with you is?
Well, now, because my roommate freaking, he got moved to another freaking bunk. We're bunking up while they repair our freaking room and take care of the fire and the freaking water damage. I gotta tell you, I don't have a freaking clean pair of socks now.
I didn't think you ever had any freaking clean pairs of freaking socks. You freaking wear them when you freaking play with yourself.
Yeah. They don't even give me freaking shoelaces in there. You gotta wear freaking slippers everywhere. Or flip-flops. And they tell me to wear freaking flip-flops in the shower. I say I do not freaking take showers. I take a freaking bumble bath.
Well, all's well that ends well, I suppose.
Yeah.